Hello guys, apologies for the lack of uploads. Since my last video I have had problems with my capture card and I've only recently been able to get back into recording stuff. So while we wait for that, I thought I'd just do a quick video just to fill the gap. I know it's a bit late now given that it's February already, but in this video I'll be ranking all my platinums that I earned in 2023. They're only 16, so it won't take long. Let me know in the comments if you have any of the platinums that I got last year, and if you have any thoughts on my rankings or anything else that I say in the video, leave a comment and let me know that too. And without further ado, let's get into it. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. It's been a little while since I've actually uploaded. I've only uploaded twice, and the last one was 4 months ago. So I thought I'd just do a quick video now, just while I'm in between editing and recording videos. I just thought I'd do a little video ranking all my platinums I got last year. So it's now 2024, obviously. Happy New Year. So I thought I'd just take a look back at the trophies, the platinums I got last year, and just sort of rank them, obviously on a tier list, because that's what people do on the internet nowadays. So we've only got 16 to go through, so it won't take long at all. Honestly, I thought I had more than 16, but apparently not. So we're just going to go through all the ones that I've got, and we're going to rank them S tier, A tier, B tier, or C tier. I got rid of D tier because I didn't feel like any of the platinums I got were worthy of D tier. Like, I enjoyed all of them, so I can't think of any of them that would fit in a D tier, if that makes sense. So we're going to start off with my first platinum of the year, which was Bugsnax. Now, I'm sure you all know what Bugsnax is. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's that game that was free on PS Plus when the PS5 first came out back in November of 2020. It's basically, so I've talked about this game before in my trophy overview video that I did a few months ago. I've talked about a few of these games before actually, but Bugsnax basically is like Pokemon but with food. So you've got little strawberries called Strabbies that walk around. Basically the game is you catch them and you feed them to people, and overall the platinum's pretty easy. You don't really have to go out of your way too much for it. It's definitely not difficult. Oh, by the way, I'm going to be ranking them not on difficulty but based on how much I enjoyed them. So it's going to be a joint rating of how much I enjoyed the game overall, and then also how much I enjoyed specifically going for the platinum. So if the game was really good, but the platinum journey or something about the platinum was a bit shit, then obviously I'm going to take that into account when I rank it overall. So Bugsnax isn't bad. It's not a bad game. It's quite fun. The story's not amazing. The story's a bit lackluster. I honestly couldn't tell you what the story was now in hindsight. But yeah, it's not a bad game. It's not a bad game. It was pretty fun. And it's a fairly quick platinum. I want to say it took me maybe 20 hours, maybe even less than that. And it was a good platinum to start the year off. And also it was a free game, so I can't really complain. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in B tier because, you know, it's not great, but it's also not, I don't think it's worthy of the C tier. Okay, and next up, actually, fun fact, this was earned on the same day as the Bugsnax Platinum. We have Carrion. Now, Carrion is, you play as, basically you're the villain of a horror game. It's not a horror game, but if it were a horror game, you would not want to be one of the humans. You're basically some kind of scientific experiment that's broken out of containment and is going around this facility, killing people, getting upgrades, and escaping. It's actually a really, really fun game. I've not heard many people talk about it since it came out, but yeah, it's pretty good. Platinum's easy. It's a short game, so you know, Platinum's easy. All you have to do is go ahead and like find like hidden rooms and get hidden upgrades from them. So it's not that bad. It's not difficult. It's pretty easy. But I had a lot of fun. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in A tier because I really had fun with it. Okay, so the next platinum I got was Multiverses, which not a lot of people have got actually. So it is only a 2.2% platinum on PSN profiles, which means it isn't ultra rare. The game is basically Smash Brothers with Warner Brothers characters. We've got Shaggy and we've got Batman. It's also got Wonder Woman, Superman, one of the Gremlins, oh, I think two of the Gremlins, the Iron Giant, Arya Stark from Game of Thrones, a bunch of Warner Brothers characters in a fighting game. It's a really, really fun game. I actually prefer it to Smash Brothers, which normally for Smash Brothers clones, then they're never normally as good as the original, but this one definitely is. The trophies aren't too difficult, but it's an ultra rare for a reason. you've got to get like I think it's 200 double kills, kill 100 opponents through the top, left, and right side of the map. A few other trophies that I've kind of forgotten, but it's a really, really fun game. And the platinum, again, fairly easy, but I got most of the trophies while just playing the game for fun. I didn't really need to go out of my way specifically, apart from the 200 double kills, which, or is it 100? I don't remember. A certain amount of double kills, which was a little bit hard to get, but even then I still had an absolute blast with the game. So that is going to be our video's first S tier, because what a game. And I can't wait until we're able to play the game again in what I think is a few months, when the servers open back up. Can't wait for that. I'd highly recommend, I mean, to be fair, I'd highly recommend all of these, because there's not a single platinum I've done last year that I didn't enjoy, but Multiverses does go to the top of our list. Oh, hey, trophy! Next up is Mortal Kombat 11. So these three have been in January. This one was February, so we're moving on now. Mortal Kombat 11. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the trophies for this one. Most of them aren't bad. Most of them are just standard online trophies. Standard fighting game trophies, rather, should I say. But you have to do all of the tutorials. That might not sound too bad, but the tutorials are awful. You have to like do like novel long combos that no one's ever going to use, but obviously you have to do them for the trophies, and my fat thumbs can't seem to handle pressing that many buttons at once. So yeah, the game was fun, but would I recommend the platinum? I mean, not really. I mean, you've also got to do 250 towers, so that's going to take a long time. That's a lot of fighting. The game was fun, but the platinum just didn't do it for me. I mean, I had fun with it. You know, as I said, I'm still not going to put it in D tier, but I don't think it can go any higher than a C tier. Okay, so we got Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I actually forgot that came out last year, but yeah, no, it did. I've seen a lot of people complain about this game because they had a few issues with it when it first released. I didn't have any of them issues. People complaining about crashes and frame drops and stuttering and everything else. I didn't have any of them issues. I loved it. I think it was a great sequel to Fallen Order, and it was also better in every single way. It had fast travel, which was a lot better. The map, while still being terrible, was an improvement in some ways. The story, also brilliant. I absolutely loved the story. Bode is like one of my favourite Star Wars characters now. It's brilliant, and obviously Cal Kestis and BD1 is like the one duo to pick above any other. So I'm gonna put Jedi Survivor. We're gonna put that with Multiverses as our second S tier of the video, which I think is a deserved spot, which obviously is why I'm putting it there. On the move. Next up is Rocket League. Now, Rocket League is not a hard platinum at all. In fact, I played the game back in 2017 or 2016 or something, and I got most of the trophies then. I think back then I had like 75% of trophies, and then early last year I started playing it again with a friend, and I just realised I don't have that many trophies left. I might as well do them. I think there's a trophy that you can't get anymore, to do with trading, I think. Or no, you have to get like 250 cosmetics for your cars, and if you don't have that, you can trade with somebody else to get them. But I heard a rumor that they disabled trading in that game. I don't know, something to do with Epic Games buying it or something. But yeah, it's not bad. The game is really fun. After a while, it kind of gets a bit old, if you ask me, but that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, the platinum isn't too bad, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that in B tier. It's not terrible. It's not the best platinum I've ever done, but you know, it's kind of middle ground. Alright, Hogwarts Legacy. Again, another game that I forgot came out last year. Hogwarts came out in February last year. Feels like that game's been out forever. Feels like I've always been hearing about that game. But yeah, no, that did only come out last year. Right, so Hogwarts Legacy, I had fun playing the game. I enjoyed it, but the story wasn't good. The only part I enjoyed, which I think was the only part anybody enjoyed, was the Sebastian side quest storyline. That was like the only actual good part. At least in terms of quests and story. The main story was shocking. I still don't know what it was actually about. The villains were forgettable. 95% of the students and just other NPCs were insufferable and I hate them. the trophy's also bugged. One of the collectible trophies was glitched, at least it was for me, where it said I was missing one collectible and I just wasn't, and so that just stopped me from being able to get the platinum for about a month while I wait for that to get fixed. So, you know, not great. The game was fun up to a point. The gameplay was brilliant. I think that Portkey Games captured the magic of Hogwarts brilliantly. You know, just walking around and exploring Hogwarts was great, but I feel like the game could have been better. I feel like it could have been a lot better, and I feel like I've heard there are rumours of a sequel, so I feel like they could learn a lot and they could improve on it for the sequel. But for now, I'm just going to put it in C tier because as I said, it's not a bad game. I would recommend playing the game, especially if you're a Harry Potter fan, but it just didn't quite hit the mark for me, at least not to put it in a B tier. So C tier it is.
See if there's something you need. Thank you for your patronage. It's been a pleasure.
Okay, Ghostwire Tokyo. So Ghostwire Tokyo, I think it came out in 2022 or 2021 or something. Really fun game, really good game. The story's not great. You know, it's kind of lackluster, but it's not bad. It still kept me interested enough to keep going. The combat's fun. It's always exciting. It's always intense. I feel like the combat could have been a bit more fleshed out, but you know, I feel like the way they did it was also perfectly fine. The enemy variety and just the enemy design overall was brilliant. Like the whole like enemies based on Japanese folklore was amazing, and even the collectibles leaned into that a little bit. So a lot of the collectibles were like items from Japanese folklore, so it was brilliant. There were a lot of collectibles, especially with the spirits, which I think there were like 400,000 of them. But yeah, it was really, really fun overall. I had lots of fun just running around Tokyo. It was brilliant. Platinum itself, pretty straightforward, just 100% the game. You got a trophy for completing the story and then completing each chapter in the story. It's basically the same as any open world game, so complete the story, get all collectibles, complete side missions, things like that. So it's pretty straightforward. There is an RNG based trophy in terms of the spirits. So you have to collect the spirits and you can only get a certain amount. You have to get some from this event that can only happen every now and then. But I didn't have any troubles finding that, so it was fine. I had a blast with the game, it was good fun, and I would love to play a sequel if they were to make one, which I don't actually know if they are, but if they do, I'm buying it. That's an A tier for me. Okay, Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 is probably has one of the hardest trophies that I've gone for, especially last year. So it has a trophy called, I think it's called Becomes the Master, which if you've seen my Titanfall 2 video, which I've got, which I'll link in the description and on the end card of this video, it has a time trial challenge. So you have to do this like parkour time trial. You have to do it. You have to be top of the leaderboard. I think it's top 3 of the leaderboard of this certain amount of time. I don't remember what the time was now. I think, was it 23 seconds or something? Was it 43 seconds? I don't remember. I think it was 23 seconds. Either way, you have to go pretty quick. And I played for, a bit embarrassed to admit, I played for about 7 hours straight, 6 hours straight, just trying to get that trophy. You've also got to beat the game on expert difficulty, which isn't too bad, but I just died way more than I should have done. I'm just shit at games, so I feel like I really struggle with difficulty trophies, and Titanfall was one of those. But the game is brilliant. Story is fantastic. It's just a fantastic game. I would put it in S tier, but I feel like the speedrun trophy, the time trial trophy kind of brings it down a little bit. Like it was fun, but I'm just not skilled enough to be able to do it quickly. So that's going in A tier. Okay, next up is Viewfinder, which is a little indie game that released. I think it was in September last year. It came out. It's basically, I think I've talked about it in my other video, but it's basically like Superliminal, if you've heard of that. So it's like a perspective-based puzzle game where you use your perspective in the environment to solve the puzzles with these little Polaroid pictures. It's really good, really fun game. It's quite a short game. I think it's only like 4 or 5 hours long. There's 5 collectibles on each like world, so they're really not that hard to find. I found most of them. I think I only needed to look up a guide for 1, maybe 2 collectibles, so they're quite easy to find. Overall, the game is fantastic. It's such a brilliant idea. A lot of the puzzles were really creative, and they're not too difficult, but they're also not easy. I never had trouble with trying to figure it out. I never had to like search on YouTube for an answer. So I'm gonna put this in S tier because the game is amazing. It was my personal game of the year for a long time last year before I played Spider-Man 2. Little spoiler. So yeah, Viewfinder, highly recommend the game. Highly recommend the platinum. It's pretty straightforward. I'm also, I think, the 16th first achiever of the Viewfinder Platinum, at least in my region, which is a fun little fact for you all. So yeah, S tier. I just had to make it fall onto there.
Hey, there we go.
And trophy, contactless, yeah. Next up, we have Dying Light, which is the parkour zombie game. It's good, it's fun, the story's engaging, the combat's fun, the zombies are just gross. There's some fun weapons you can get. As I said, the story's pretty fun. There's collectibles, obviously, because it's an open world game. They're not too bad, there's not that many of them. And you have to do side missions and stuff. The only trophy I did have trouble with was a trophy regarding random encounters. So you have to save a certain amount of survivors from... I think it was from the... There's like a group of people. You have to save survivors from that group of people. But yeah, it was a fun game, fun platinum. I'm gonna have to put that in B tier.
They told us not to move or speak. They started beating us. Thank you.
Red Dead Redemption, so this is not the PS4 port, this is the PS3 version of Red Dead Redemption. I did that last year, well obviously that's why it's in this video. Yeah, so I dug my PS3 out of storage for this one. I'm sure you all know by now how good Red Dead is. I'm sure you all know how good the story is. There's no collectibles, at least as far as I remember there isn't. Just, you know, beat the story, complete side missions. It does have online trophies, which for a game that is nearly 15 years old, online trophies are always going to be a bit ropey from a PS3 game, but I didn't have any problems with it. There's only a few, I think there's like 3 trophies where you need another person, but they're not difficult at all. The only difficult trophy I would say for online is, well, not difficult, but time consuming, is reaching level 50 in online. I spent probably 36 hours, 24 hours, something like that overall, just grinding out the same enemy hideout in online to get like 200 XP each. No, I think it was like 900 XP each time to get to level 50. That was... Ooh, that took a fucking long time. Now, yeah, no, the game itself is obviously stellar. The story, the characters, everything is brilliant. So I'm gonna put this in A tier. Only thing that brings it down from an S tier is, as I said, the level 50 online trophy. Next is Detroit Become Human, which is a choice-based game with androids in Detroit. I'm sure you've heard of it. Really good game, really fun story. Obviously, you can, in a way, you can make your own story by picking a certain amount of choices. It's good. There's collectibles, which obviously tie into your choices. So, if you make some choices, it will lock you out of certain collectibles. I think you need to do at least... You can do it in 2 playthroughs. You have to do like a good playthrough, basically, and a bad playthrough. And you can get collectibles in... you can get 2 sets of collectibles in both of those. So you can get all the collectibles in 2 playthroughs, is what I'm trying to say. Each story is good. Each of the endings I got, I was happy with. I didn't reach an ending where I thought, oh, that's a bit shit. But yeah, no, I enjoyed the game. It's good fun. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in B tier. It was fun, story's great, but the platinum was a bit boring. It's very easy. It's just making choices, basically. So there's no real challenge to it, if that makes sense. You just have to play the game different ways, basically. That should be the last one. Now, when we exit the main menu, you get the trophy. Yes, bookworm. And the platinum. Next is Lego Marvel Superheroes. This is the first one. Haven't yet done the second one, but we'll get to that this year. Lego Marvel Superheroes. I love Lego games. They're great fun. Obviously, you have to do 2 playthroughs for the free play missions, so you can get the collectibles. Story was okay. It was funny because it's a Lego game. They all are. And the open world. I think this was the first Lego game to have the open world, or at least one of the first. It wasn't too bad. The collectibles were just a bit annoying, like collecting Like, you can't just buy the characters, you have to find them in the open world, which isn't great. I wasn't a huge fan, and I did have 1 or 2 trophies bug out where I would collect all the characters, or I collected all the red bricks, for example, and it just didn't pop the trophy, so I had to, I don't remember how, I think I just reinstalled the game and it fixed it. But yeah, not too bad overall. So that's actually gonna go at A tier, because I had a lot of fun with it.
Witnesses on the ground say Sam.
Okay, the big boy, Spider-Man 2, my personal game of the year last year. Story was good. I've seen a lot of people complain that the game was bad, at least in comparison to the first game. I disagree. I think this game was better than the first Spider-Man in every single way. The combat's a lot faster, the web swinging is immensely improved, which is saying something, because the first game was already brilliant. I think this game was even better than Miles Morales, and I really enjoyed Miles Morales as well. I feel like it's a really good sequel. I feel like the story went in a way you would expect it to go, but also there were a few turns, a few twists and turns there to keep you on your toes. And as I said, I really enjoyed it, and I don't really understand why people say they don't. Also, people complain about that Miles suit. It's one of my favourite suits. It's just, you know, I liked it. I think it was pretty cool. I'm gonna put that in. I'm gonna put that in B tier. Because, yes, the game was really fun, but the platinum was a bit boring, just like the first Spider-Man. Basically, just beat the game, get collectibles, complete like enemy hideouts and things like that. Nothing really groundbreaking. It's very, very similar to the first game. I don't think there was a difficulty trophy. Actually, no, to be fair, I'm going to put it in A tier, because I feel like the game was more fun than the first game. And I would put the first game in B tier, so this one's going in A tier. This game was a lot harder than the first one, so I actually played the hardest difficulty in both of them, and I actually died a fair few times in the second game. I actually found a bit of trouble, especially in the boss fights, especially that stupid lizard boss fight. But yeah, no, it's still pretty easy, so A tier. I'm going to move up to A tier.
Parker Luck's back with a vengeance.
Alright, Little Nightmares 2. Little Nightmares 2 is probably one of my top 5 favourite games of all time. I love the Little Nightmares franchise. I can't wait for Little Nightmares 3. That got announced. Can't wait for that. A little bit apprehensive because it's not made by Tarsier Studios anymore. It's made by a different company that I'm blanking on the name of. You've probably seen it on screen right now. I've completely forgot what the company's called. But Tarsier doesn't want anything to do with the franchise anymore. They're done with it. I think it's still Bandai Namco, but as I said, Tarsier aren't having anything to do with it. A new company is. The game's really short. It's a short, easy platinum. There's a few collectibles to find. There's a few random miscellaneous things to do. There's no difficulty-related trophies or anything like that. The combat's not too difficult. The collectibles aren't even that hard to find. And the game overall is just really fun. That's going to be another S tier. I absolutely love that game, and the platinum just makes it better. And then my last platinum of 2023, which obviously is no surprise because it's been here the whole time, Assassin's Creed Mirage. Now, Assassin's Creed Mirage for me, I was a bit apprehensive because obviously the more recent Assassin's Creed games, being, you know, Odyssey, Origins, and Valhalla, aren't good. At least in my opinion, they're not good. At least they're not Assassin's Creed games. They're just games. Like, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is a good game. It's not a good Assassin's Creed game. I couldn't tell you a single thing about the story from that game. It was just awfully long and dull and repetitive. But yeah, no, Mirage stopped trying to be an RPG and started trying to be an Assassin's Creed game, which might be a little bit of a controversial opinion, but that's what an Assassin's Creed game needs to do, is try to be an Assassin's Creed game. And Mirage did it really well. It had a brilliant setting, being set in Baghdad. The story was interesting. Well, I say it was interesting. The story was a little bit interesting, which, you know, is nice to see again in an Assassin's Creed game. I don't think I've really liked an Assassin's Creed story since Ezio's story, which was quite a long time ago. I suppose the story in which one was it? Black Flag, obviously. The story in Black Flag was also pretty good, but, you know, Mirage is good. and it's nice to see Assassin's Creed coming back to the formula of Assassin's Creed. Although I have heard there's 3 Assassin's Creed games slated for release that have been confirmed. I think one's a mobile game, one of them is an RPG like the others that have released in the last few years, and one of them is a more traditional Assassin's Creed game. So, you know, nice to see that they're not completely stripping the RPG elements, because some of them, there is some potential there. So it's nice to see that they're at least carrying on a little bit. But I would also like to see more Assassin's Creed games in this franchise. Anyway, little tangent over. Assassin's Creed Mirage is going to go in A tier. I didn't have any problems with the collectibles. I didn't have any problems with the difficulty or anything like that. Pretty straightforward. Not too bad of a platinum. I had fun with it. So that is the rankings of all my platinums that I got last year. I enjoyed them. As I said, I enjoyed all of them. That's why I got rid of D tier. I don't think any of them could fit into D tier. I feel like they were all really good in their own way. They were all brilliant. And I would, honestly, I would recommend all of these games. I think I would also recommend all of these platinums apart from maybe Mortal Kombat 11, just because it's a bit grindy and the tutorials are a bit shocking. But you know, I would recommend to play all these games, and I would recommend all the platinums, like I said, maybe apart from Mortal Kombat 11. But yeah, that's where I'm going to rank these. I'm going to try and do one of these videos every year. So next year, you'll be seeing my my ranking of my platinums from 2024. Obviously, I haven't done any of them yet. Oh, I've done 2 so far. Little spoiler for you. But yeah, you'll see next year. Hopefully, there'll be more than 16 on the list, and we'll rank them all, and we'll see how I feel about them. So that's where I'm going to leave it for today's video. Hopefully, another video coming soon. I'm platinum in a game at the minute, Assassin's Creed 2. I'm doing currently. I think once I've finished that, I'm gonna do. You know what? I'm not gonna tell you what game, but I'm gonna do a game. The game I do after Assassin's Creed 2, I'm gonna make a video on. So I'll see you guys there. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.